you doing? What's Up, Roadie was created as a safe space for the 12 million strong live entertainment and theatrical professionals. Peace, and we are back with What's Up, Roadie. How you doing? Here in season 3, I am Noelle Jordan, creator and executive producer for What's Up, Roadie. How you doing? It is so great to be back again. In my career, I am a live event and touring stage manager, lighting designer, and backline technician. What's Up, Roadie was created as a safe space for the million strong live entertainment and theatrical professionals. Throughout season 3, we'll be focusing on equity, not only for our roadies and techs, but for entertainers, musicians, engineers, content creators, and more. Today, we are joined by an amazing panel, as well as our live entertainment mental health advocate. I encourage everyone here to engage in the live chat here on the What's Up, Roadie, How You Doing official YouTube and Facebook Live pages. And this season, we're talking about equity within our industry, or the lack thereof. Equity is defined as the state, equality, or ideal of being just, impartial, and fair. The concept of equity is synonymous with fairness and justice, and to be achieved and sustained, equity needs to be thought of as a structural and a systemic concept. So, hey everyone, how is it going?
Hey.
Good.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Yes.
So our moderator for today is the wonderful Nylia Sterling. Yay. Hey Nylia, how you doing?
I am good. I'm good. Thank you for having me. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Everyone is doing well. Yes, summertime is here. The weather is beautiful. Let's get started. So we have some wonderful panelists today. I'm hearing that this is a heavy Howard alumni panel today. So I would like to begin and introducing our Howard alumni panelists. We have Mr. Ray Angry, Mr. Goldfinger. We have he is an amazing composer, pianist, producer, and music director who is one of the most in-demand artists of today. We also have Professor Stefan Naylor, HU alum and assistant director of bands at Elizabeth City University. Today, we also have mental health advocate Maisha Rice with Whole Family Healing Group. Thank you all for joining us today. We'll have 2 other panelists joining us as well a little bit later, but thank you all for jumping right in and being here and giving us your feedback for today. We really appreciate that.
Thanks for having me. This is such a pleasure to be amongst the Howard family.
Right.
Hold on, just a minute.
There's stories in that alone. There's so many stories in that statement alone. You know what I mean? If you know,
I have to shout out my school, Bennett. I'm a Bennett Bell, so I'm from HBCU. Okay. From Bennett. Yeah.
All right, now we are amongst some great ones here. So, how are you guys doing today? How is everything coping up with the industry for you all, and just personally, how is everything? Checking in.
For me, everything is growing, and COVID allowed me to plant some new seeds. You know what I mean? And it's cool to see them developing, seeing new relationships develop, seeing people being more interested in the how and the why and the who. You know what I'm saying? So the narrative is changing. So that's very cool. COVID allowed us to do that. You know what I mean? Because before that, it was like work, nonstop. And for me, at least, it was a curse that turned into a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's a pleasure to be amongst you guys.
I have to say the same. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I have to say the same thing. I definitely found this to be more of a help than a hindrance. Um, During this time, I was able to just stop a lot of things and sit down and really form some new things, some new businesses and things like that. Something I've never done before. So it definitely has stopped everything and gave me a chance to like really focus on some other stuff and really like level up and grow. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely say the same thing. Chime in with what everybody else has said. It has really given time to really sit back and figure out what's really important in life and go in some directions that you probably thought of going in, but you never did. And it's such a blessing really to be here and be the advocate for entertainment and for the entertainment industry because I have a background and it's just a passion for me to merge the two and really help my fellow colleagues deal with their mental health while still doing what they love.
Mm-hmm.
That's an absolute blessing. Being able to see that golden lining and that silver lining within it all. That's one of the things that we definitely want to talk about today. Is some of those seeds that have been planted and some of those transitions that you guys have seen within your industry. So going into that, with your prospective backgrounds, what does equity mean to you? And we're welcoming Deacon Izzy as we're asking this question. So,
Yes,
welcome.
sir.
We have Isaac Deacon Izzy Bell, who's also an HU alumni, member of the brass ensemble DuPont Brass, and a music educator. So, thank you for being here with us, Deacon Izzy. Appreciate it. So, yeah, we were just getting started and
Pleasure.
asking
Can
what
y'all
does
hear me?
equity mean to you? Yes.
All right, cool, cool. Sorry, I'm having internet issues, so I can barely hear you, but I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah, feel free to if you have to hop back on or whatnot, but we can hear you fine. So, Ray, I guess what does equity mean for you, to you and your prospective industry, as far as you being a musician, pianist, composer, all of those things, and being in high demand? How does that work in that type of space?
Well, equity doesn't really exist in what I do. You know what I mean? But I think I've been actually thinking about that a lot lately. But I think it has potential to really level the playing field for creatives to allow us to be able to do what we love to do, get paid well for it, but also, you know, um, create a nice bed for those that are coming behind us, in terms of developing new business practices. So I think equity is a very good conversation to have in terms of just getting artists to do better business. You know what I mean? And I think it's a start in the right direction. That's what it means to me.
Hmm.
Because it doesn't really exist. At least from my experience, it doesn't exist.
As a musician, or just in education, or
As
in
an artist, as a
okay.
recording artist in the music industry, making records, sitting in the studio with artists, making records, figuring out all the splits and what's not being split, you know. But I think equity, man, it just makes sense to me. But in my mind, it's never been done in music, you know. So I could be wrong, but
I guess I'm thinking when you say, because I'm actually asking myself, like, what do you really mean by equity doesn't exist? And I'm just asking because I'm curious about your perspective on that. But I guess I'm thinking, like, when I think about equity, as when it comes to like the industry and music, you have a lot of people who start off with those connects already. You know, you got Beyonce's daughter, you got all of the celebrity children and kids and things like that who has the inside connect to the industry versus someone like me who's down here trying to get up there, who's trying to get those connects and things like that. So I guess when we talk about equity, we're talking about, yes, we have. I could be better than a lot of celebrity kids when it comes to talent and things like that. But the equity come is where it comes in is that do I have those same connects? do I have accessibility to those same people? So when I create something, when I write something, I can automatically give it to the marketing team or the marketing strategists at the record label, and they can automatically get it out there, get it on the radio and things like that. Whereas I would probably have to work and pay a lot of DJs and stuff like that to get them to pay my records. Whereas if I was a celebrity's kid, I don't have to do all that because I got the connect right there. When you think about Ice Cube and his son, Master P and his kids, you know. So I guess the thing is that how do you, as a celebrity child, like, do you look at that as like this is just my resource and I'm just blessed to have this resource versus somebody like I don't have those resources, I can't get to those places, I have to work 5 or 10 times harder than they do. So that's how I look at equity when it comes to like the industry as far as like the fairness and the not fairness of it all, you know. But you definitely have to start when it comes to equity. You have to start at an even playing field, meaning that everybody has the same top-notch lessons. Everybody has the accessibility to the same producers and engineers. And then let's fight. Then like we in a boxing match. All right, do we have the same trainers? Give me the same trainers. Put me in the ring and let's see who's really good now. The same best top of the line trainer. So that's how I look at it. And I know I just went off into boxing, but I'm just kind of relating everything together.
Hey, it all meshes well. Can anybody else want to speak on what equity means to them, or any specific, I guess, any key issues concerning equity in your field? Like our Professor Stefan was speaking about, you know, maybe some of the challenges as a musician or on the education side of things.
Well, I wasn't gonna say. I would agree with what Stefan said about us being on the same playing field, like having the same education and the same resources. But that's not realistic. It's too late for that. So how do we get towards a more equitable place? For myself in my field, I think it's access to equipment and technology, most definitely. Especially, I would say for lighting, it's all digital. Like I didn't learn really on the consoles that I should have until I got thrown into the job and then had to learn it. We didn't have that at, in college, like where we were. So, and I've gone to other universities and I'm like, wow, you guys have new instruments and they're moving and all of this stuff. And it's standard. It doesn't just come here for the musical, like you guys have this for the whole year. And that's where I say that the inequity started at your base level of education within your field.
Mm-hmm. That is a very well rounded view of that. I mean, we've gotten there is none to we have to fight for something to it starts at the schooling. I can actually see all of those aspects in every capacity. I'm not a musician, of course, but even as an artist, there are different steps and different realms in which you find yourself fighting for equity or not at all. You really find it. And so I guess, how does one cope with that as they are coming to these realizations of whether they're worth it or not, whether it's worth it or not? What are some of those maybe tips or feedback that we have for others and for the next generation,
I think with that, I don't think coping is the answer. I think being smarter about what you're doing as far as investing in yourself and getting those things, using your money to get those things that you need to get that same playing field when you're able to. Like if you like, for instance, Noelle said that she didn't get into the industry standard console since she was well into the job. Well, I'm thinking to myself, like, all right, if I knew that I want to be, and not saying that you knew that early on, but if a person knows or decide they wanted to get into those fields, now you have to start investing in yourself as far as certain equipment and things that you know you need to have. Like I'm looking at Ray Angry's setup. I'm looking up at your setup right now. You're investing in your career. You need all those keyboards, those synthesizers, and things like that because they're going to give you something different. You know that's what you need as far as your industry, and your career. So you go and you get your 9 to 5 or you get your job and you stack your bread and you do whatever you need to do, and then you go and start investing in yourself so you can get those equipment, so you can get that equipment and those things that you need in order to be successful. I know a lot of times and I'm dealing with that with a few artists down my way. It's like they want the product, but they don't want to really invest in themselves. You know, a lot of people think that, you know, that stuff just comes from anywhere. Not everything has to be paid for. But bringing it back to equity, you know, one way that we can raise equity and one way that we can definitely make sure that we get the playing fields is making sure that we're being responsible with what we have. Even if it's a little, being responsible for a little, you know what I'm saying, and making that grow, you know. If you can't take care of 1,000, I don't see nobody taking care of 10,000. You know what I'm saying? Even if you're not making a huge profit off that money, you still making it work. You know, so you have to take that and invest in yourself so that you can get the equipment that you need, so you can create the quality track, so you can go get the quality mixing and mastering and all of that. But you just got to make sure that you're doing everything in your power, that you're saving your money, you're stacking your bread, or you're working, you're doing whatever it needs to do to get that equity. You know what I'm saying? Not just sitting there coping with it and saying, oh, well, woe is me. No, not woe is me. How can I get it? How can I, all right, it's not fair. How can I make it fair? How can I create something so that it is fair? Because we keep living in this society where we just have to sit here and just accept stuff. No, man, I'm not in the business of accepting a whole lot of things. Man.
Absolutely.
No, man. I'm sorry. I went on all day.
Yeah. I also think that it's important to be mindful of definitely investing in yourself, but also you know, building a team, you know, and collaborating with like minds, because I feel like that's how I'm creating equity. You know what I mean? I'm working with whether it be musicians, artists, singers, and really just building together. You know what I mean? Having people that's doing exactly what you want to do, and you guys build together. And I think there's strength in numbers.
That collaborative.
And everyone. The beauty about collaboration is that everyone has their strength. You know, and where one person is weak, another person is strong. I might be the piano player. Someone else might play drums. Someone else might be, you know what I mean. But I think anything is possible, and I think it's just about being strategic, and also taking care of your mental health. That's important, because if you have a sluggish mind, you're gonna get sluggish results. You know what I mean? And if you're hanging out with people that's negative, that's like, I don't think that's gonna work. It's not gonna work, right? Because you're putting it out there. So I think the words that come out of our mouths speak power to our situation. So I think it's also important to keep that in mind as well.
Definitely.
Yes, Miss Maisha, he kind of segued into the mental health portion. I love that. And just like any tips for how, not even tips for, I guess, suggestions for how to deal with that in this industry for our peers, just how important it is navigating your mental process.
It is important. One thing that he touched on was being mindful of your surroundings, like who are you surrounding yourself with? And people, you feed off of each other's energy. So you don't want to be around people who are sluggish, negative thinking, and things of that nature, because it will have an effect on you and your work and what you put out. And when it comes to people, some people don't realize that they are having mental health issues. A lot of people are depressed and they don't know it. So if it is someone in your circle who may be having some challenges, you may want to point them out or pull them to the side and say, hey, maybe you may want to talk to someone. And then there are some people that you do have to distance yourself from because of that, because you definitely want to be very careful, about
Mhm.
who you associate yourself with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very important, I think a lot of us as artists don't see that aspect until later on, maybe particularly in life. I'm not sure, I don't speak for everybody, but it's like the maturity of the importance around mental health in this type of industry. Um, if I would have gotten that information at a younger age, I might have been able to do some things a little bit different or gone about, some tasks, some procrastination a little bit different.
Yeah. I
But
think, I think when you are, especially when you're a new artist, it's not really talked about. I mean, how many artist managers really say, I'm going to put you in therapy? Like you need some help. They
Yeah.
don't really talk about it. When I was in the music industry, nobody talked about anxiety or depression, and all of that stuff is just real.
yeah. So like what are some of the things, I guess, as an educator, um, I guess that we can bring into our music life cycle, especially for the next generation? Like, what are some ways that we're ensuring that they have these advantages and these outlets, and so that they don't have to go through the same hurdles and
Yeah.
wilderness that we had to go through?
The biggest thing is one of the biggest things is what Noel is doing. I mean, really, there's no other platform that I know of that's really been created for a safe space in the music industry to discuss mental health and the importance of it. And we need to continue to have these conversations. We need to support What's Up, Roadie? How you doing? And make sure people come on here and really talk about it and be honest about it and seek help. Outside of here, you can call me, call my office, and we will follow up and help you, because it doesn't end here. But this is a great place to start and erase the stigma in the music industry about mental health, because just about everybody is dealing with something.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. So, Mr. Goldfring, I know you touched about some of the seeds that you've been planting with the next generation, but I guess maybe can you talk about that a little bit more? I guess the musician, educator, mentor, and maybe some of the things, like Professor Stefan said, you have a nice setup. So, like, how are you bringing some of that to the next generation of musicians and composers that will soon compete with you? You're higher, and you're on those stages together with.
I think just by I like to work out first thing in the morning, and I also like to meditate. And with that being said, I always go live on Instagram, and I'm always like, if I'm practicing and I'll do it on Instagram. So I try to use social media as a way to inspire people. You know what I mean? So, I think it's important to do those things. So, that's the thing that I'm doing. And also, I'm starting a record label, which I plan to use as a way to educate young artists on the music business, on the music industry. And you know what I mean? And just getting artists, um, a better shot at the game. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A better shot than I had. You know what I mean? And just really
Right.
giving the information. You know what I mean? And really sharing information and really, and I also have friends that are working with me on various projects that I'm working on, and we try to help each other out. And so I started this event called Producer Mondays. And basically, I have all these musicians, singers, artists come through, and a lot of young artists come through, and a lot of seasoned artists come through. And so it's a safe space for artists to get together and create, share ideas, be on stage, and figure out, okay, that doesn't work. Oh, I need to become a better listener. So all those kinds of things that help you grow as an artist. So every aspect of my life is about giving back, you know what I mean, to the youth and really trying to show that anything is possible. So I'm trying to use my life as an example to show that, hey, if I can do it, you can do it. You know what I mean? So
That's right. That's really all you can ask for. I mean,
You know, Gnarly, I wanted to add really quickly. There's a lot of pressure in this industry, you know, for us to be great. You know, when you're creative and all of these things, and on top of that, when you think about equity, we are still people of color who also have to be great, and we are up against so many, you know, different things. And how do you deal with that? You know, on top of wanting to be great, on top of wanting people to love your music, on top of wanting to make this, you know, something that you can live off of,
right.
you know, and your own personal life and your family and all those other roles that you play, all of those things have to be taken into consideration. And this is where we need the support and we need this platform to really, really discuss this.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Noel's definitely given us a great
Yeah.
platform to launch from.
Yes.
This will be in the vaults for the next generation so they can pull it
Yes.
out and say,
Yes,
okay, these are some of the things that they told us not to do, how to do it.
yeah,
exactly. That
Nobody told me the road be easy, but we made it. We're making, you're pushing through.
Right.
yeah.
So
if
I
you
want to
can do it,
introduce,
they can do it.
Right.
yes, want to introduce one of our newest panelists, Mrs. Sue Bailey, producer,
How you doing,
engineer,
everybody?
artist. Yes, yes.
Yes, thanks
Welcome,
for having
welcome.
me. Yes, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being
How's
here.
everybody doing?
Good. How are you?
Awesome.
I'm doing well. I'm doing fine. Can't complain.
Good.
It's a good day.
Yeah,
Um,
so I guess you can jump in however you feel. You've heard us speak a little bit on equity and
yeah,
what it means to you, and I guess how you're giving back, and as far as the next generation, some of the advocacies. Um, yeah, we'd love to hear from you. Oh wait, did we lose him? Okay, well, hop back on when you're ready. Uh,
can y'all hear me?
I have another question
Oh,
though.
there it is.
Can y'all hear me?
I can hear
Yeah.
you now.
Okay. I guess it like goes out every time when I back out of the camera. But I was gonna say, equity to me is basically everything. For artists, both for the artists and the fans, and it's definitely needed within this music industry, being that simply there's not a lot of it. The definition itself falls under favoritism. So if somebody doesn't like something, they may feel the need to judge it. And though we know what sounds good and what doesn't, I feel as though when it comes to music and how it's performed, it's all self-expression at the end of the day. So an artist should feel free, to do that and just let the favoritism, leave that up to the fans. But another way to do that, and to help with not overthinking it, is just playing to your strengths. A lot of artists have to understand what works for them, and go into the studio with their craft, experiment with it, to their strengths. And in the midst of that process, what happens is you wind up unlocking, maybe a new sound or a new innovation. Um, so yeah, I mean, for the most part, a lot of artists should, just be open minded with the music and not think too much about it. But we still need the fans and the majority of the listeners or the consumers to understand that this is just an artist's self-expression. Some
It's not a popularity contest.
artists may
Right.
It's not.
do it in a more creative manner, but I feel like there's a lane for just about everything. Hello.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Sorry, we were muted.
Hello. Oh, I went out.
Can you hear us?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
I know that Ray is
No,
gonna
it's really
have
not.
to. He's gonna have
It's
to
really not. But I
leave.
feel like there's a lot of that within the industry, just off rip,
Okay, so we're just gonna. I'm just gonna look for a second. No, I just wanted to say because I know that Ray, uh, you have to part
Yes.
from us, so I
Yes.
definitely wanted to give you your final words
Oh,
for this episode.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really hope that that people are blessed by this platform because I think it's very important to keep this conversation going, and also to get people to do something. You know what I'm saying? To get people to do something, and and I invite everyone to come down and Producer Mondays and let's build, let's talk. It's all about community, and I
Yeah.
think the best way for artists to attain equity is to band together and demand it. But we have to hold ourselves accountable because one person, my brother mentioned, someone that's privileged that comes into the thing already figured out. All they got to do is make a phone call. Um, I do think there is something to that, but I also think that there is something to motherfucking talent. You know what I'm saying? And money can't buy you talent.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't care how much money you have, their money is only gonna last you. But so at some point, people are gonna say, "Wait, that person can't sing."
Yeah.
You can fool them, but I definitely think that people banding together and really, really making a project work is the best way to create equity. I recently started a project called Public Domain, and we're doing just that. You know, someone, my creative partner, Catherine, she brought this idea to me, and and then we're taking songs that are in public domain, and I'm flipping them and making them turn them into new compositions. And now I'm working with all sorts of artists, Black Thought, Daru Jones, Liv Warfield, um, Marcus King, and it's really cool for me to have something that I'm creating that is going to bless the people that are part of it. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's really important to just create fairness, within the work, you know, situation. You know what I mean? When you're working with
Agreed.
people. Yeah. So
Yeah.
hope that makes sense.
Yes.
Agreed. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate having you and hearing your perspective on equity, on what you're doing, on how you're keeping your mental health in check, as well as giving back. And we will definitely keep an eye out for everything that you've got going on with Producer Mondays. I'm
Yeah.
excited about that one.
Yeah.
But
Come on down. It's a vibe.
It is.
It's a
It is.
vibe.
I'm
We make up
excited.
music. There's no cover songs. Everything is made up on the spot.
Nice.
Straight
Wow.
jam sessions.
That
It's
It's
sounds good.
on this. Everything is on the
That's what we
spot.
need. That's what we
No
need right
preconceived
now.
notions.
That's
Clean slate.
awesome.
You know. So yeah. So thanks for having me, guys.
Of course.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Noel, this is amazing.
Of course.
Congratulations.
It is.
All right, you guys have a blessed day.
You too.
Too.
Take care.
All right.
I actually have Sue also.
Oh, Sue is back. Yay.
That was great with
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
insightful
good. You're
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I
Ray
hear
was
everybody. I
speaking
see everybody.
about- Can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
yes.
Okay. I want to make sure. Thanks for coming back on. Not
Yes,
abandoning the
of
ship.
course. Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course.
Definitely not. Never abandon this shit.
So Ray was talking about like some of his personal projects with Producer Mondays, but I was just thinking about like how some of those things can be your like mental health outlet, with enjoying those spaces in which you actually work and learning to be present in the moment, even within your industry, fine tuning those things to bring that peace of mind, as we're getting back,
Mm-hmm.
quote unquote, to things.
Oh no, it's coming. We're getting back.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Definitely. I got some tour dates
We definitely
today.
get.
I know that's right. So, I guess, is there anything exciting happening? Are you guys looking forward to specific changes within your industry coming up? Like this whole Zoom thing, or actually getting back. What about you, Noelle? Go ahead, girl.
I know, and I'm looking forward to no 12 people to a bus.
Oh yeah.
I am so looking forward to 6 people or less
Yes.
on a bus, bandwagon, something besides 12 people.
So you're gonna keep the restrictions in place, some of them.
Yeah.
I like that one. Keep that one there.
I mean, I also got certified as a COVID compliance officer, so I'm definitely. I mean, that's what I'm adding back, but that's one of the things that I feel that we needed to do is to get as many certifications as you can.
Yeah, during this downtime, why not? And they were like handing them out left and right. Some of these places.
We got a question
Uh-oh.
here from Miss Yvette Taylor Jordan. I wonder who that is. Are you ready to get back? Oh, just what you were saying.
Are we?
So everybody, I want to pose that for everyone. Are you guys ready?
I am. Let me chill out. I think, yeah, I am. Because honestly, I found myself sitting in the house way too much, and honestly, I found myself being kind of unproductive. Because I was just in the crib, just sitting, like, and knowing I can get my computer and still do work and stuff like that. But it's a difference with me when you get up and actually go to an office, a space where it's for work, rather than my house where now I got to try to section off the house for work and things like that. Nah, but I'm definitely ready. I'm ready to get back, and I'm actually the opposite of where I think I'm going to miss the crowd. I'm going to miss all the people at once. Like I was thinking of. Now you said that I'm thinking about Made in America. Like, I wonder how that's going to work now. But I'm kind of going to miss the big crowds and things like that. But I understand safety and all that. So it's pretty cool with me. I'm ready to get back to my students. We starting back up in the fall, marching band practice and performances and camps and things like that. So I'm about ready for that. But for the most part, yeah.
I will also throw a plug in there since you did not check the resume.
Oh, yeah, I was actually going to throw that in there when you asked what are we doing to like make these changes and give back and things like that.
Yeah.
One thing I have now, I started I created a platform here at Elizabeth City State University. It's called Check the Resume, and what it is a live music performance platform. And what I do is I take I choose. Well, first started off as student artists. We take student artists and we do 2 weeks of rehearsal. And we do 2 weeks of rehearsal and we create originals. They come with an original they already have. And then during that 2 weeks, we'll sit in the band room or the auditorium, wherever we are, and we'll sit there and create an original for them to perform the very next week. So at the end of the second week, we're performing, streaming live, full production and everything. And what I'm doing is I'm using that platform as a platform to help students like showcase their work, but also as an educational tool as well to a lot of the students who don't have access to like industry standard stuff. And I'm trying to let them, I want them to understand that you don't just have to be an artist in order to be in the music industry. You can be a sound engineer, you can be a stage manager, you can be live sound engineer, recording, whatever. There are other projects, videography, video cameras, pictures. There are other things and ways to get into the industry without being an artist. And that's the thing that that's what I'm putting out there. I just finished up the curriculum for all of that stuff and things too. So we doing that, and then we taking that a step further for the summer, and we opening that up to high school students. So it's like a live music performance summer camp. And we basically doing some of the same things, but we taking high school students, but they come in to audition, and we do 2 weeks. Actually, it's only 6 days because I try to stay away from people's Mondays and Fridays in the summertime. But 6 days: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. First week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The second week, then that Friday is a performance. So I want them to understand, like, if you want to be an artist, all right, this is what we got to do. We only got 2 weeks to get this show together. So this is how we're going to do this. So I'm putting everybody through the ringer, just so they get
Yes.
an idea, but also teaching them like this what goes on. And I definitely have to credit Noel. I have to credit Malik. I have to credit give me the names. Come on, I ain't gonna mess
Amari Crescent.
Amari Crescent, all of them. The dream team.
The dream team.
I have to credit, and definitely Malik, I have to credit all of them for teaching me certain things and letting me know what's supposed to be and what not supposed to be, how the stuff operate in the theater. So I'm just taking all of that what I learned in DC, and I'm bringing it down here to an area where that's in need of a lot of creativity and things to do. So I'm like, man, I can just take this, bring this down here, package it up, curriculum, write it out, teach it to the students, and now I'm putting you in a place where you get an experience before you leave. And that's the one thing in education, it has to change. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to be able, when you come out of college, you should have enough experience to get a job. Enough of this going to school, coming out of college, and having to go work somewhere just to get experience to get the job. That doesn't make any sense. So what I'm doing with Check the Resume, and I'm giving all these students these experiences and these jobs on productions and stuff like that. So when you get out there, you can literally tell somebody to check your resume. You have some of this stuff done on there. So because I'm actually tired of seeing that. I'm tired of hearing that. Like, why am I sitting here in college and I'm not getting the experiences I need to get a job? That doesn't make sense.
It's that pothole.
Exactly. That's my way of combating, even with equity. You know what I'm saying? Giving them a fair chance a little bit earlier than what we're used to. So that's how I'm combating all of that with my students and things like that.
Now that's important, and it definitely pays it forward because you're planting so many seeds, and like you said, you're opening so many minds up to. That's the thing. Industry, there's so many different industries that you can get into, and what they're gonna do within that industry based off of the seed, man, it's beautiful. I'm about to tear up. I love stuff like that, but that's equity. Like, that's what we're doing. That's it. That's it. But yeah, anybody else? I mean, any other ways that you've been paying it forward to the next generation, or found ways to alleviate those hurdles for the next up and comings, and giving back, or teaching them about their mental health, and taking those breaks when they need to?
Oh, definitely that. Especially, I mean, all of the kids that I work with,
because
for sure.
Hello?
They both started at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because, I was about to say, because a lot of the kids in this generation. Yes, I just wanted to let her finish. I didn't want to be. But I was going to say a lot of the times I definitely let my clients know, a lot of the artists, that it's okay. Yeah, it's okay to take breaks and to go out and experience life in terms of change the scenery or seeing something new, and coming back to the studio with new material. It clears your head with a lot of the real life things that go on. But for the most part, an artist uses a lot of what they go through, whether it be heartbreak or the best of their times, to create the music. So I definitely try to drill in their head to not overwork themselves. Not tire yourself out, not burn yourself out, because then you start hearing stuff like, oh, I got writer's block, I don't know what to talk about. It's because you got to get out there and actually see something different. Actually, put more experiences into your life and have more things to talk about.
That's a good
or to create.
I have a question from our comments for Maisha. Maisha, are you ready to meet the challenge of the people being hit with new requirements in their fields and
delay over here too? So,
can you see the question?
Oh yes, there's no delay for me. I think that was Sui.
Yeah.
Okay.
But how are you gonna approach this,
With the
Maisha?
requirements in their field and not being ready, I honestly believe that that's already happened and been a challenge. You know, the change for people to no longer be in the office, being at home, even though some people it's been a benefit, but at the same time, you know, things have changed because you no longer have the support of your colleagues. You're at home all day. You are, you know, a lot of people became a gym teacher, you know, a stay-at-home mom, a chef. Like there were so many different roles that were added to what they already have to do. But now when you think about, you know, as we some of us will head back to the office or back to work or back around people, I believe that these agencies need to consider people's mental health, you know, and that people may not be ready or there may be an exacerbation of anxiety that may come from now I have to be around all these people. I don't know who's vaccinated. I don't know if I'm going to get sick. How long is this vaccine going to last? I mean, there are so many different things that are going to come about. And even when you are back in the office, they are going to be requiring different things of us to do. We may have to do more, who knows what, but they are going to be a lot of different things. But we're ready. Me and my team, we're ready to help people get through this.
But I hear what you're saying with that, Maisha. I really do. However, skeleton crews that can't be anymore. Where
Yes.
we got 5 or 6 people
Yeah.
to unload a truck,
Yeah.
unload your back line, lay down. If it don't let it be like a dance piece. And then you've got
Right.
marble floor to lay down and a backdrop to hang and lights to focus. And then you've got to bring out the stage for audio and mics and all of they.
Yeah,
I have most of my career has been one of 5.
Right.
Or tour 105 at the house.
Right.
That's the house crew. Whereas when you go to our counterparts venue, they call in more people if it's a bigger load. It's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna have, you know, stage manager, lights, front of house, audio, and a stage hand. But then we're also gonna call in 4 more people to be here for the load in and the load out. Yeah. That's how it needs to be. But because now money's gonna be tight,
right?
Like, well, I mean, we could do it with these people. We've done it before, but that doesn't make it right. And then there lies the stress.
Oh yeah.
I mean, myself. Some people can call out an unsafe work environment, which I feel is your right. If you feel that this is not a safe work environment, if you're putting all of this on everyone and not delegating the way you should and hire people whose job it is to only unload and load. If I have to use this, I shouldn't be using this more.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I definitely agree with you on that, Noel. I really do.
Absolutely. I think it'll help to restructure a lot of these organizations because they're going to come up with that. You have a lot of people fighting back or bouncing back or quitting jobs because of unsafe work environments. And, you know, it is unfortunate. But, yeah, the restructuring definitely needs to happen. And hopefully it'll start with equity.
That's what I was getting ready to say, because it's like, I mean, those, you know, the budgets for a lot of these different venues and shows and artists are not equal.
Yeah.
They haven't been before COVID and they probably won't be afterwards.
That's unfortunate.
You saying that they weren't equal, but do you think that? So I was having this conversation about things along that lines, and if I'm the producer, the executive producer, and I'm putting out the money for all of this, do you think the artists deserve the same amount of money that I'm investing?
Did they double your money?
They didn't. Well, the risk. They don't have. They didn't take any risk.
But if say if
And
it
I'm
is
just asking y'all. I'm just asking.
because this was something that we spoke about last week. And the reason why I'm saying that is as a producer, say it's a producer for a film and you hire, you know, a singer to sing the lead track or whatever. If that record catapults the film, break them off their bread.
Right.
I mean, you got bonuses and things like that. Yeah, I give you an extra bonus here, extra bonus there. But for the simple fact of risk, when you're talking about investment and risk, like I'm putting up $5 million for this project. This is my money that I'm risking. Yeah, I may get $15 million in return, and I'm going to give you your 1 million, 2 million that you asked for, and then I may break you off another $250,000. You know what I'm saying? Just for the way it happened. But if I'm risking, because once I put this 5 million up, and you don't do the numbers you that we're expecting you to do, that's 5 million that I'm in a hole with.
I think all stuff like that has to be discussed up front. I mean, you really have to consider like sometimes just the absolute worst thing that can happen and the absolute best thing that can happen, and have those both scenarios and how it's going to play out in writing. That just protects relationships, it protects your like stress, like all of that. So you won't on the back end have to come up and try to make all these decisions after the fact, because then there's too much emotion involved and things may not pan out too well for that.
When you say that, what I think of is The Lion King. Was it Marcus Weaver? That the animated Lion King. Mm-hmm. So I think they had offered him a couple millions of dollars, and his mother said, "No, I want royalties."
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That is, I feel that's the start to equity. It's like, don't give me a check.
Right.
Because you're putting all these tens of millions of dollars behind this film. You don't think it's going to flop. You're expecting your return. Exactly. So since I am an integral part of this production, and you wouldn't have these songs without my voice.
That's right.
I want every time this movie is played, just like you get paid, I get paid. And then you see that. And I will also say, I forget what movie Zendaya just did.
Yes.
Was that with Denzel's son?
Yes, with John David Washington. I think I read that for their crew, they gave them a stake in the film, like 1%, 2% or something.
Oh, wow.
The film amassed like over like 300,000. Yeah.
Each of them got like 300,000.
So each of them got 300,000.
You're speaking on the right things, girl. Royalty is equity. And even demanding down to the negotiation of the masters, you know?
Right. Yep.
So, and my thing is, I guess I'm looking at it as that the equity was in the knowledge that his mother knew to take that deal, to take that royalties deal, and not the flat fee or whatever. That's where that equity really comes in, of knowing what deal and what deal not to take, because you have to got the same opportunities here. So now it's like, all right, if I'm some celebrity's child at this point, my parents know this stuff. They already know these things. They got lawyers and things that know that. But if I'm not, and I'm being presented with that same deal from Lion King, you know, and my mother don't know to take royalties, now it's like, all right, we in a position, we need money. Take this flat fee. And where the equity is lost in that example is not knowing what to do. So definitely knowledge is a part of that aspect of making sure we have the right amount, the correct equity in what we're doing, you know. Knowledge, who's to say what type of money he would have? Well, he wouldn't have had those royalties if she didn't know the action for that, you know. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. Well,
you know your worth also.
Yeah, you know your worth. And I was gonna slightly disagree about the rich part, because some of them, they don't know either. They let them lawyers tell them that if you don't know how to negotiate for your worth, you don't even know your worth. You don't know what it is. But like what Master P say, And, you know, if they offer me $1 million or $3 million, I know it's worth 10 times that. So no, thank you, but no thanks.
Right.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. The knowledge, I think that is key too for all industries.
Agreed.
Definitely.
My grandmother says never take any wooden nickels. You know.
Okay.
Okay.
I love that.
Which means a lot. Like you got to know what a nickel look like. You know what it feel like. You got to know what it was real. Like it's a lot that goes into that.
You told me the same thing.
So in all of this and knowing that we have to be prepared, knowing that we have to bring equity and enjoy our equity and peace of mind while we are building it. I guess we talked about the return, but there are just, you guys gave very good examples of ways that we as individual artists can make a maximum effort to build the equity, to plant the seeds. Again, I say we because we are the people, and the people make up the organizations and the corporations, and they influence. Right. So it is very important for us to, you know, have a clear mind about what we're doing, about when we need to take those breaks, about what equity means to us, giving back to the next generation, teaching them how to do it properly. I think, you know, some of the advocacy that you spoke on today, Maisha, was very, very poignant. And some of the things that you all are doing already is setting a great tone for post-COVID.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
So I just want to thank you all for being here and sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, experience with everybody who's tuned in and who will tune in. Thank you for being vulnerable and transparent with all of that information. Noelle, would you like to say any parting words, or anybody else would have any last words for the show?
Yes, last words for the show. I'm opening that for everyone. If you guys have any final words.
Just thank you again. This is great. I hope that this conversation continues and expands. It's so needed.
Absolutely.
Good job, Noelle. Yay! Yo, this is dope, yo. Shorty, you doing it. Good job. Good job. I like this.
Thank you.
Definitely good information, man. You're right. This is definitely something that needs to be talked about, especially in our industry, because it's always go, work, play, sing. That's it. Make everybody else happy. And then a lot of times as a musician, we giving ourselves away.
Yes.
Music is not for us. It's for everybody else.
Right.
You know, you can't do nothing with music if nobody else is listening or receiving it or using it, you know. So we just give so much of ourselves to where we kind of forget to put back into ourselves. So definitely. Good job. Yeah, Noelle. Okay, I'm done.
Gotta fill up your tank.
Yes.
Your own tank. You have to do that. Self-care.
Not when the light comes on. Like
yes.
Everyone, I just want to thank you again for not only your time, but your insight, as well to all of you for watching. Remember, everyone, please stay safe. Be sure to follow, like, and subscribe to the What's Up Roadie official Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram pages. Stay up-to-date information on upcoming discussions. You can join us next week for a continuation of this conversation, where we will go again to live concerts and events, artists, musicians, and producers, part 2. And for the Clubhouse members, we will be having our weekly Clubhouse room. Everyone is invited. You can join us tomorrow and every Wednesday for Roadie Wednesdays at 7 o'clock on Clubhouse's official What's Up Roadie room. It is our recap room where we discuss this week's episode and more about the industry. You can follow us on the platform for more info at What's Up Roadie, Narlia, Maisha, Professor Stefan Trucknailer, all the names. Ray Angry, although we did have some technical difficulties with Deacon Izzy and Sue Bailey, I am looking forward to them coming back so that they both can be heard as well, because everyone's input is important to this mission and movement, and it's just going to keep on growing and spreading the word of peace within our industry and mental wellness, because it is important. So everyone have a great evening, and we'll see you next.
Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
So how you doing? How you doing? What's Up Roadie was created as a safe space for the 12 million strong live entertainment and theatrical professionals.